Hey, it's Ed, and welcome back to episode 5 of Diagnosed, A Book is Born. And if you recall, in episode 1, we talked about Ed and Cris and the friendship and how that blossomed and bloomed and all that kind of stuff. Episode 2, we talked about, oh my gosh, cancer struck. 3, how that cancer journey led us to writing a book. Episode 4, we introduced Kalia. She came in and helped make our writing much better. In episode 5, we're going to talk a little bit more about that process for people who are interested in and just don't know how it all works. Cris, what was it like working with Kalia?
Well, the thing that was really great is that, she's highly experienced, knows what she's doing. And she would know how to ask the right question. And I don't know, what I remember the most, Kalia, is that you would oftentimes say, what are you really trying to say here? And like you said in the last episode, you have to say everything all at once. But I think you helped us an enormous amount in keeping us focused on what's the gist here? What is the reader supposed to understand from this? And yeah, we would get carried away using, jargony language sometimes, and you would just have none of that. You need to tell people what you really are trying to say.
Well, I think, that's just because books are difficult. They're not, they're not actually an entirely pleasant process to go through, and they never end, and it just goes on and on. And so, it takes some patience, and it takes understanding the tempo. And I think I helped with that as well, because it's easy to get impatient and it's easy to get frustrated, and I tried to help prevent that from happening. And what you had to say and how you said it was so good that I didn't want other emotions and other thoughts to interfere with that.
Yeah.
What I appreciate about you, Kalia, is that you didn't care if it was Chris Ross or Ed Marx, because in our industry, some people, we don't ascribe to that personally, but some people might put us on a pedestal or something like that and try to treat us differently. But you could care less. You just called us out on everything in a very nice professional way. Although I have to tell you, you may not know this, but during our conversation, so we'd meet sometimes weekly for an hour or so, the three of us, I would be texting Chris Ross at red apples because he'd always be like the teacher's pet, is at least the way I felt. So anyways,
well, I want to say that I probably was more audacious with you, but it isn't that I didn't go at Chris bluntly. It's that I did it privately. He's a rather more tender soul than you. And so I want people to be able to hear what I say, and you'll hear anything. If I could scream it at you or I could whisper it and you'd hear it. But Chris deserves a respectful communication that's appropriate to him. And so I would be in that context. So it wasn't that you were being dissed. It's that I was trying to target each of you in your own way.
There's an editor to pick. So everybody's locked up, and I'm trying to take care of my mom in the pandemic. And then 8 months late after the pandemic start, I get cancer again. I'm struggling my way through cancer. I get there. As I'm coming out of that, then my mother passed away. And I lost heart. I lost energy. And it was all I could do to pick up a keyboard and try and tap away at this book. And there were some moments when Kalia and our editor, Nina, both reached out to me and said, dude, you can do this, and you want to do this. And this is meaningful to you. Keep going. So I credit Ed, of course, for being the kind of inspiration and heart. But Kalia was that voice of conscience and resolve. We read a lot in the book about resilience, the power of resilience. And Kalia just embodied resilience for me. And she made me resilient and pulled me through.
You. Well, I do. My attitude is sort of, what other choice does one have? The other choices aren't acceptable.
Exactly.
And I think in a way that's the spirit of the book. The spirit of the book is that everyone can find a way, with your guidance and help and suggestions, to become both resilient and to defend themselves from the worst parts of the American medical experience, and to avail themselves of the best parts that are there and are remarkable. And I think the book offers that as a warm gift in a way that's quite exceptional.
Yeah. Well, Kalia, we love you. We really appreciate you. We got to, we spent 3-4 years together, and you mean a lot to us. You helped make the
Thank
book
you.
what it is. We can't wait to celebrate with you in
I
person
know.
sometime. We hope in September. We're still waiting for official word on the release date. Hopefully, by the time this video is seen, we'll have that release date. But thank you, Cris and I are both so thankful to you for everything you've done, and thank you for being a guest on episode 5 of Diagnosed. A Book is Born.
I enjoyed this, and every day I work with you, I enjoy. Thank you.
Thanks, Kalia.